Did you know that over 90% of engine wear happens during the first few seconds after startup? That's right, engines don't die because of highway miles or long road trips. They fail from small mistakes drivers make each morning when they turn the key or push the start button. Here's the truth. Those first 30 seconds determine whether your engine dies at 100,000 miles or keeps running past 500,000. Yet, most drivers damage their engines daily without even knowing it, creating problems that lead to costly repairs. In this video, we're breaking down the 13 common startup mistakes that quietly destroy engines, and showing you simple habit changes that keep your car running reliably for years. Stick around because one of these could save you thousands in repairs you didn't see coming. Mistake 13. Revving your engine cold. Here's a mistake most drivers make: revving the engine right after startup. You turn the key, stomp on the gas, and hear that aggressive roar. Feels like you're helping it warm up, right? But you're actually doing serious damage. When you first start your car, oil is sitting at the bottom of the engine. It takes 3 to 5 seconds for the oil pump to circulate lubricant to your pistons, valves, and bearings. When you rev before oil reaches these parts, you're forcing bare metal on metal at thousands of RPMs. This carves scars into cylinder walls and causes premature wear. The solution? Let your car idle for 30 seconds after startup. In cold weather, wait 45 seconds. Do this right and your engine can easily reach 200,000 miles. Mistake 12. Using a weak or dying battery. A dying battery might still start your car, but every weak start causes hidden damage. Your starter motor needs strong, consistent voltage to turn the engine over. When battery power drops, the starter has to work harder and longer to get the job done. This puts unnecessary strain on your entire electrical system. Here's the bigger problem. Your car's electronics depend on stable voltage to function properly. The ECU, sensors, and infotainment system can all malfunction or suffer permanent damage when power fluctuates during startup. Voltage spikes and drops stress these components over time, costing you hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So, what's the solution? Test your battery regularly with a multimeter. A properly charged battery shows 12.4 to 12.6 volts with the engine off. When the engine is running, it should read between 13.7 and 14.7 volts. If your readings fall consistently below these numbers, it's time to recharge or replace the battery. Batteries typically last between 3 and 5 years. Don't wait for yours to fail completely. Watch for early warning signs like dimming headlights, slow cranking in the morning, or electronics behaving strangely. Addressing these battery issues early protects your electronics and keeps your car starting reliably for years to come. Mistake 11. Starting the engine with the hood open. An open hood means direct access to spinning engine parts. Fans, belts, and pulleys spin at dangerous speeds once the engine fires up. Making contact with any of these parts can cause serious injury. Anything left near the engine, such as tools, rags, or loose debris, can get caught and thrown at high speeds. But here's another risk many drivers overlook. If the car isn't properly secured in park or neutral, it can move forward or roll backward the moment you start it. This creates an immediate accident hazard. Before starting with the hood up, be sure to clear everything from the engine bay. Remove all tools and loose items. Confirm the transmission is in park or neutral and set the parking brake. Mistake 10. Avoid starting uphill without preparation. Starting your car on a steep incline without the right preparation can create problems immediately. The angle affects how fuel sits in your tank. On a hill, gravity pulls fuel toward the lowest point, which can leave the fuel pump struggling to pull fuel from a nearly empty area. Older vehicles and low fuel levels make this problem worse, resulting in hard starts, rough idling, or an engine that refuses to start entirely. Beyond the mechanical issues, there's a real safety concern. A car that isn't properly secured can roll backward the moment you release the brake to shift gears. On a steep slope, this happens fast. Prevent these with a simple routine. Start by engaging the parking brake completely before you touch the ignition. Check your fuel gauge. Anything below a quarter tank means you should fill up before attempting the start. For manual transmission drivers, keep both feet on the clutch and brake while starting. Then transition smoothly to the gas pedal while releasing the clutch to avoid rolling backward. For automatic drivers, hold the brake firmly, shift into gear, then gradually release the parking brake while applying gas. Mistake 9. Skipping fluid checks before starting. Your engine depends on several fluids to operate safely. Ignoring them before startup can cause damage that costs thousands to repair. When oil levels drop too low, parts inside lose their protective barrier. Metal grinds against metal, heat builds up, and major engine failure becomes a real possibility. Coolant works the same way. Without enough of it, your engine temperature climbs until gaskets blow or the block itself cracks. To prevent this, make fluid checks part of your routine, especially before road trips or after your car has been sitting for a while. Pull the dipstick and look at both the level and the color. You want oil that's clean and amber, not dark and gritty. Open the coolant reservoir and check the level is correct and the fluid is clear. Brake fluid and transmission fluid matter just as much. Low levels in either system your safety on the road. A quick inspection under the hood takes only minutes but prevents costly breakdowns and keeps your car running compromise reliably. Mistake 8. Starting in extreme weather. Extreme temperature push your engine and electrical system to their limits. Without the right preparation, you risk long-term damage every time you turn the key. Cold weather causes oil to thicken. Thicker oil flows slowly, which means your engine turns over harder and internal parts receive less lubrication during those critical first seconds. The strain destroys your bearings, pistons, and other components. Heat has its own problems. High temperatures drain your battery faster and push your cooling system closer to its limits. Both problems increase the chance of breakdowns during the hottest months. To protect your car, adjust your routine to match the weather. During winter, an engine block heater keeps the oil warm overnight for easier morning starts. A fully charged battery rated for cold cranking amps is essential since weak batteries fail quickly in freezing conditions. In summer, park in the shade whenever possible or use a sunshade to keep interior temperatures down. Check your coolant level before starting to prevent overheating. Always let the engine idle for about 30 seconds after startup. This gives fluids time to circulate and systems time to stabilize before you drive. Mistake 7. Inspect drive belt condition before starting. One rubber belt keeps multiple systems running. The serpentine belt drives your alternator, power steering pump, water pump, and air conditioning. When this belt fails, everything it powers fails with it. A snapped belt means no charging, no power steering, and an engine that overheats within minutes. But belts don't fail without warning. Before starting your car, take a quick look under the hood. Check the belt surface for visible cracks, frayed edges, or a shiny glazed appearance. These signs indicate the rubber is breaking down. Also, check the tension. A loose belt squeals and slips. An over-tightened belt wears out pulleys and bearings prematurely. If you notice squealing noises at startup, it usually means trouble. Don't ignore them. Have the belt inspected and replaced if needed. Most serpentine belts hold up for 60,000 to 100,000 miles, but regular visual checks help you spot wear before it leaves you stranded. Mistake 6. Ignoring unusual sounds or warning lights. Your car communicates problems through sounds and dashboard lights. Paying attention to these warnings can save you from expensive repairs or a breakdown. Unusual noises at startup point to specific issues. Clicking typically means a weak battery or corroded terminals. Grinding suggests the starter motor is failing. A whining sound often indicates alternator issues. Each of these problems gets worse if ignored. Dashboard warning lights deserve the same attention. When the battery, oil pressure, or check engine light stays on after starting, your car is flagging a problem that needs immediate action. Driving with these warnings active risks serious damage to vital components. Check your owner's manual to understand what each light means. Some issues can wait for a mechanic appointment. Others require you to stop driving immediately. When in doubt, have a professional inspect the car before putting more miles on it. If you're finding this video helpful, then don't forget to like, subscribe, and share the video with your friends. Mistake 5. Warm-up time in older vehicles. Modern cars can handle driving immediately after startup. Older vehicles can't. Cars built before the 2000s use carburetors that need time to blend fuel and air correctly, drive off too quickly, and the engine runs rough, stalls, or suffers damage that accumulates over time. Cold mornings make warm-up time even more crucial. Oil thickens overnight and needs time to flow through the engine and coat all the moving parts. Without proper lubrication, metal components wear faster than they should. The fix? Simple. After starting an older car, let it idle for 30 seconds to 1 minute. This gives the engine time to stabilize and allows oil to reach every part that needs protection. Resist the urge to rev the engine during this period. Pushing RPMs before oil has circulated puts unnecessary stress on components that aren't fully lubricated yet. Once the idle smooths out and the engine sounds steady, you're ready to drive. Doing this each morning adds years to your engine's lifespan and keeps older vehicles running dependably for decades. Mistake 4. Swap out worn spark plugs. Every time your engine runs, spark plugs fire thousands of times per minute. Over time, this constant use wears them down. Worn plugs misfire, struggle to ignite fuel, and make cold starts difficult. The problems don't stop there. Bad spark plugs hurt fuel economy, raise emissions, and can eventually damage other engine parts. To prevent this, check your spark plugs at regular intervals. Replacement schedules vary by type, ranging from 30,000 miles for standard plugs to 100,000 miles for platinum or iridium versions. When inspecting them, look for black carbon buildup or electrodes that appear worn or eroded. Your car will also tell you when plugs are failing. Rough idle, sluggish acceleration, and hard starts all point to spark plug issues. Fortunately, replacing them is straightforward and affordable. New plugs restore smooth starts and proper combustion. Stay ahead of this maintenance instead of waiting for a breakdown. Mistake 3. Starting without checking for leaks or warning odors. Puddles under your car or strange smells near the engine bay are warning signs you should never ignore. Leaks often indicate failing gaskets, cracked hoses, or damaged seals. Fuel leaks are the greatest danger since any spark near gasoline can start a fire. Unusual odors have their own story. Burnt rubber may signal a slipping belt or melting wire insulation. A sweet smell usually means coolant is escaping. Strong chemical odors can point to brake fluid leaks or overheating parts. The solution: before starting your car, walk around it and look underneath for any drips or wet spots. Fluid color helps identify the source. Dark brown or black means oil. Green, orange, or pink indicates coolant. A sharp gasoline smell is unmistakable. If you find a leak or detect an unusual odor, locate the source before turning the key. A 30-second inspection can prevent costly repairs down the road. Mistake 2. Using a car that's been sitting for months without inspection. A car left sitting for several months isn't ready to drive the moment you return to it. Over time, engine oil breaks down and loses its protective properties. Coolant can become contaminated. Fuel separates and turns stale, leaving residue that clogs injectors and fuel lines. Batteries slowly discharge, and corrosion builds on the terminals. If you turn the key without addressing these issues, you're inviting trouble. You could face overheating, fluid leaks, or serious mechanical failure. The right approach is a complete inspection before you starting. Start with the oil. Pull the dipstick and look at the color and texture. Dark or gritty oil needs replacing before the engine runs. Next, check the coolant reservoir for proper levels and clarity. Move to the battery and test the voltage with a multimeter. Anything below 12.4 volts means recharging or replacement is necessary. Inspect the tires for low pressure, cracking, or flat spots from sitting in one position. If the car has been parked longer than 6 months, the fuel likely needs attention. Draining the old fuel and adding fresh gas is ideal, and be sure to add a fuel stabilizer. Finally, check under the hood for rodent damage. Mice and rats often nest in idle engine bays and chew through wiring. After completing your inspection, start the engine and let it idle for several minutes. Listen for unusual sounds and watch for warning lights. This process protects your car and prevents avoidable repair bills. But there's one startup mistake that's worse than all of these combined. It's so common that millions of drivers do it every single day without realizing the damage they're causing. Mistake 1. Driving with your fuel tank near empty. Here's the startup mistake most drivers don't see coming. You're low on gas, but the engine fires up fine. So it seems harmless, right? It's not. You're destroying one of the most expensive components in your car. Your fuel pump sits at the bottom of your gas tank, submerged in fuel. That fuel doesn't just power your engine, it cools and lubricates the pump itself. Run your tank low and the pump starts pulling air along with fuel. Without enough fuel around it, the pump overheats and wears out fast. Here's the other problem. Sediment, rust particles, and debris settle at the bottom of your tank over time. When fuel drops too low, your pump sucks this contamination straight into your fuel lines and injectors. This clogs your fuel filter, damages your injectors, and causes rough running or misfires. Replacing a fuel pump costs $500 to $1,500 depending on your vehicle. Cleaning or replacing clogged injectors adds another $300 to $900, all from avoidable damage. Keep your wallet happy by keeping your tank above a quarter full. This keeps your pump cool, properly lubricated, and prevents it from pulling debris into your system. That wraps up this video. The truth is, most drivers don't destroy their engines with one big mistake. It's the small, everyday startup habits that slowly wear the engine down over time. By dropping these bad habits and giving those first few seconds the attention they deserve, you can extend your engine's lifespan by years and avoid thousands of dollars in repair costs.